Good evening and welcome to Nationwide on the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority. I'm Ayodeji Makinde. The national leader of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has described President Muhammadu Buhari as a purposeful, exceptional and caring leader whose only concern is the best for Nigeria. He said this after paying the president a thank-you visit for checking on him while recuperating in London. Abdullahi Muhammad reports.
It was a rousing welcome, and when the APC national leader settled down, he minced no word in expressing his appreciation to President Muhammadu Buhari, who took time to visit him while recovering from a surgery in his home in London.
And wishing me well, lifting my spirits, and did what an exceptional leader would do to a collaboration. That's all. That's why I came for. I'm welcoming back from the trip from Saudi.
Stepping in after the APC national leader was the Chief of Naval Staff. He briefed President Muhammadu Buhari on the completion of the building of 3 more vessels that enhances the capacity of the Nigerian Navy to deal with criminal elements within the territorial waters of the country.
It prides us as a nation that we can build something from the scratch to finish by our own shipyard. So it is a pride to us.
The Chief of Naval Staff also sought the blessing of President Muhammadu Buhari to honor the Nigerian Navy in commissioning the vessels. In the State House, Abdullah Muhammad, NTA News.
Former President of the Senate, Dr. Yochia Ayu, has emerged as the newly elected national chairman of the People's Democratic Party following the conclusion of the party's 2021 elective national convention held in Abuja. Correspondent Timothy Yusuf reports.
21 National Working Committee offices were contested for at the People's Democratic Party 2021 Elective National Convention. 18 of the offices, including the office of the National Chairman and Secretary, were resolved on the basis of consensus, except for the position of the office of the Deputy National Chairman South, Deputy National Chairman North, and that of the National Youth Leader. In the end, Ambassador Tofik Arapaja defeated former Governor Lagunsoyo Oyelola to emerge Deputy National Chairman South. Ambassador Umar Damagun defeated former Minister Mariam Ina Chiroma to emerge Deputy National Chairman North, while Mohammed Suleiman defeated Usman El Kudan to emerge as the National Youth Leader.
83, 84, as the Chief Returning Officer of the 2021 PDP Convention election to announce and declare His Excellency Senator Dr. Ayocha Ayo as duly elected and returned as the national chairman of our great party, the PDP.
Leaders of the party described the national convention observed by INEC officials, local and international observers as transparent and credible. The newly elected national chairman of the PDP, Dr. Yochia Ayu, said the party is back to reckoning.
We have come out stronger. We are united. We are determined to come back where PDP belongs.
The newly elected NWC are to formally assume office by December 9 upon the expiration of the tenure of the current NWC. In Abuja, Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
In another development, a huge number of politicians have defected to the ruling All Progressives Congress Party, APC, receiving the campees into the FCT APC. The Minister of State FCT, Ramatu Tijani Aliyu, affirmed that they have keyed into the agenda of second term of credible governance. Ifeanyi Ezumba reports.
FCT Minister of State Ramatu Tijani Aliyu admonished the campees to support committed leadership and solid management of uncommon patrimony in Kwale, stressing that a time will come when they will not have enough space to accommodate the campees.
continuity for second term. If that we sweep lack of development in Kwali, the proof that we sweep disunity away from Kwali, the proof that we sweep anything that keep you away from continuity and second term in Kwali, the proof that we unite all of us.
That worked out as far as the council is concerned. The special grace of God, continuity is assured. We will mobilize and make sure we actualize the continuity in Kwale.
The campaigns appreciating the Minister of State for making out time out of our busy schedule to receive them promised to be law-abiding. In Abuja, Ifani Isumba, NT News.
The Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Professor Isa Ali Pantami, has conveyed the approval of the federal government to extend deadline for the National Identity Number NIN Subscriber Identity Module data verification. Citizens and legal residents are now encouraged to complete the process before the end of the year 2021. A joint statement by Dr. Ikechukwu Adinde, Director of Public Affairs, National Communications Commission, and Kayode Adegoke, Head of Corporate Communications, National Identity Management Commission. The decision to extend the deadline was made following appeals by the mobile network operators and other industry stakeholders, soliciting a further extension to ensure better compliance with government's directive and to avoid widening the digital divide. The extension would also provide the enabling environment for the registration of Nigerians in remote areas, diaspora, schools, hospitals, worship centers, and foreigners, diplomatic missions, those in other areas that were hitherto unreachable, as well as increase enrollment in countries with significant number of Nigerians. Consequently, the minister enjoins Nigerians and legal residents to make use of the opportunity of the extension to enroll for their needs and link with their SIMs. The Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, has denied any connection with fabrications and concocted lies linking him to the ensued imbroglio relating to news stories about the residence of a Justice of the Supreme Court, Justice Mary Odili. This is made known in a statement by Dr. Umar Jibrilu Gwandu, Special Assistant on Media and Public Relations, Office of the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, which said the clarification to debunk the mischievous publication became imperative in the view of the media hype and the dimension the story is taking. It is important to set the record straight that as the Chief Law Officer of the Federation, Malami would not stoop too low to be associated with an apparent inelegant and nasty court process, on the strength of which the purported search warrants was procured. The general public need to know that there was nothing called joint panel recovery under the Ministry of Justice in the office of the Attorney General of the Federation and the Minister of Justice, and by extension, the entire Federal Ministry of Justice. Minister of Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, has defended the 2022 budget proposal of 450 billion naira before the Senate Committee on Works. The mandate given to the ministry by the committee is to sustain concerted efforts to bridge the infrastructural gap in the nation. Dayo Ogunshola has the details.
It was one of the major tasks of the day for the Minister of Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, as he made his way into the Senate hearing room. Chairman of the committee set the tone for the robust engagement.
I also want to commend the Honorable Minister for the projects completed so far and for ensuring that we have, to some extent, improved on the motorable road networks in the 6 geopolitical zones.
The minister commenced his defense with an appraisal of the current fiscal year.
Some of it, in order to support business, you have roads that target places where large farms exist. You also have roads that evacuate ports and roads that connect international borders.
The lawmakers had words of commendation for the minister.
A way to bridge
is one of the best kept secrets of the achievements of this ministry.
Regarding the second Niger bridge, I visited there, and I would like to commend you and thank the federal government for showing commitment to complete that project.
The Kasala Bridge, also to thank you that the bridge itself has been completed, the rehabilitation, but the approach to the bridge is impossible to pass on it.
The hardship that our people go through on that Shagamu-Gijo road is unimaginable. Please help look into that.
Similarly, the Director General, Energy Commission of Nigeria, led his team to appear before the Senate Committee on Science and Technology to defend the agency's 2022 budget proposal. From the National Assembly, Dayo Gunshola, NTA News.
The African Development Bank is to support Nigeria with investments in the country's digital and creative enterprises, which it refers to as IDICE, a $500 million investment program to be co-financed with several partners. President of the bank, Dr. Akinwumi Adeshino, affirmed this commitment when he delivered a lecture on social media, national security and social change, bridging the gap for development in Africa, held in Lagos. Justin Bemuni reports.
The AFDB president sees the social media as nothing short of a revolution and a medium that will equally play a definitive role in Africa's transformation and economic evolution. He opines that to reap the benefits of this revolution, countries including Nigeria must work on the analog complement by strengthening regulations that ensure competition among businesses.
Africa has a task of titanic proportions on our hands. That's because an undeveloped, underemployed generation of young men and women is probably the nation's greatest security risk, and not the use of social media per se.
The bank, he says, is optimistic and is working to create 25 million new jobs by 2025. He confirmed that the bank is investing heavily in quality infrastructure to transform the backbone of Africa's technological revolution and is therefore preparing investments in Nigeria's digital and creative enterprises, otherwise known as IDICE.
IDICE will promote entrepreneurship and innovation in the digital technology and creative spaces. It will help to create sustainable jobs and make Nigeria a global powerhouse in these industries.
He advocates fully leveraging the power of technology, social media, and communication platforms, which will create a better, more inclusive, and prosperous Nigeria. Justin Bemunyi, NTA News.
It's time to go to Lagos for stories making the round from that zone, and Adeola will guide us. Hello, Adeola. It's good to see you.
Hello, Ayo. Good afternoon. Similar to many cities in sub-Sahara African countries, the struggle between urban development policies is one of the challenges facing Lagos. As Nigeria joins the rest of the world to mark the World Cities Day, correspondent examines challenges of urbanization of a state and the need to have a sustainable climate resilience to mitigate natural disasters.
Lagos, the economic hub of Nigeria and West Africa, remains an attraction to many people from the sub-Sahara African countries. The rapid growth of the state has led to population explosion, thereby overstretching the limited facilities. Many urban cities in West Africa, like Lagos, have failed to invest in city resilience due to lack of funding, capacity, awareness, or action plans. This year's global observance of World Cities Day, with the theme Adopting Cities for Climate Resilience, provides stakeholders another opportunity to reflect on climate change and how it will have huge impact on city residents.
A day like this, it is typically good for both the Lagos government and the stakeholders, even the common man, me and you, to take cognizance of this particular environmental impact of this urbanization. Because it is very, very clear, it is very, very obvious here with us Whenever it rains in Lagos, in some locality, it cannot get there.
Love ourselves. You want to build a residential house, build a residential house. If it's a commercial house, get a proper approval. If it's not approved, do what is approved. Number two, government itself. The approving authorities should be firm. They should be human friendly. Sometimes getting approvals can be an uphill task.
With hundreds of millions of people experiencing floods, rising sea levels, storms, and increasing period of extreme temperatures, it is imperative for government at all levels, the private sector, civil society organizations, and academic institutions to exchange innovative ideas, best practices, and solutions to build urban climate resilience in Lagos. Ruth Ario Samuel, NTA News.
The federal government has launched a bid opening session for procurement of critical basic education infrastructure exercise as part of efforts to ensure transparency and accountability in the award of contracts for the Universal Basic Education Intervention Project in Lagos. Musa Toliat has details.
Beyond winning, may you also deliver good jobs to the
procurement process, which is electronic-based, involved screening eligible vendors before throwing open the bid price and bid security value for them to see. Invited vendors have shown interest to deploy various infrastructure that are jointly funded by federal government and Lagos State government to meet basic education needs in some parts of the state.
You must ensure, ease of doing business, and part of ease. About 161 thereabout contractors who have bidded for one lot or the other, and the essence of the system is to ensure, transparency and to ensure that we maintain some level of integrity in the way we have done this.
In addition, the process is aimed at eliminating favoritism, prevent the misuse of public funds, and stimulate marketplace competition in basic education subsector in Lagos.
We're having a bidding process that has to do with children, particularly where they learn. I'm talking about classroom, procurement of instructional materials, so that they could have a place where they can learn conveniently.
The Universal Basic Education Intervention Bid Project is in line with Lagos State Public Procurement Law. In Lagos, Musa Toliat, NTA News.
We're done from here now. We'll take a break, but Nationwide will return to Abuja with Aya to stay with us.
You're welcome back. The Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, has won the Television Production of the Year Award at the 29th edition of the Nigerian Media Merit Award NMMA Grand Annual Presentation Program, hosted by the Kogi State Government. Solomon Ahidenyi reports that the program was attended by media icons, veteran broadcast journalists with more than 50 categories of awards, won by outstanding media organizations and individuals in the print and electronic broadcast media. A sincere apology for that report. Let's move on and tell you that loyalty, dedication, good leadership skills, and cross-functional workplace collaboration are listed as key ingredients capable of driving teamwork and performance in any television broadcast industry. This was the fallout of a book presentation entitled First Person Personal, My NTA Abeokuta Story, which brought together faces of renowned broadcasters in celebrating NTA Abeokuta 42nd anniversary. Yemi Dalimo reports.
They all gathered as members, pioneers forum of NTA Abeokuta. Their target is to give back to the station for imparting greatly on their life.
Because of the quality manpower that started this station, we overcame all real difficulties, and we're shining bright, if not brighter, than some of the older established stations.
The book, First Person Personal, My NTA Abeokuta Story, has 3 chapters with contributions from old and few current members of staff of the station. Led by the General Manager, NTA Abeokuta, Funmi Wakama, stakeholders say workers who collaborate with one another will achieve a better result than those who work alone.
They've demonstrated to us that spirit of oneness, which is what I've always emphasized at most management meetings. We cannot work in silos. It has to be teamwork.
Highlighting key components of teamwork as contained in the 222-page book, a professor of mass communication, Lai Osho, while reviewing the book, says operators of today's broadcast media need to be empowered with skills in overcoming challenges that hinder their performance.
Any organization, if you have very good progressive leadership, you are likely to have very good workforce that will get things done to the credit of the organization. That, I think, to me, is the story of NTA.
The station was established on October 17, 1979. In Abeokuta, Yemi Dalemo, NTA News.
One defining reference point as a nation is our core values. However, events in recent times seem to be at variance with these ideals, giving rise to insecurity and moral bankruptcy. Issues bordering on this and other salient points were brought to the fore at the unveiling of 2 books, The Nigeria's Call and The New Nigeria of a Dream is Possible. Joseph Otsen reports.
It is often said, when you know where you are coming from, it will shape what you do and guide what you want to achieve in life. Perhaps this clearly demonstrates the intent of the author of these 2 books, Dauda Modi, who tries to identify the missing link in the nation's collective drive towards achieving a common goal based on value system.
I have come to realize that dreams by themselves does not translate or do not translate into possibilities. In fact, their becoming a possibility must be driven by certain imperatives.
Director General of the National Orientation Agency, represented by the Assistant Director Documentation, Translation and Publication, Margaret Yenami, says there is a need for Nigerians to study national core values as enshrined in the nation's constitution to appreciate the country and work in unity for the Nigeria they dream of.
If we can embrace positive value and do the right thing at all times, our society will be orderly, peaceful, and functional.
But with books like this, I'm sure older people and even the much younger children, generation to come, would read about the history of Nigeria and would work towards the fulfillment of the Nigerian dream.
Discipline, integrity, dignity of labor, religious tolerance, self-reliant and patriotism are being pointed as values for rebuilding a better Nigeria. In Abuja, Joseph Otsen, NTA News.
Amina is standing by in our Kaduna network studio with the next set of reports on Nationwide. Hello, Amina. Hello, Amina.
Hello, Ayodeji. Welcome to Kaduna. Federal Road Safety Corps Kaduna State Command is scaling up efforts towards reducing carnage on roads, especially as the year comes to an end. The Kaduna Sector Command is involving its critical stakeholders in road traffic management to achieve these objectives. Haruna Mohammed reports.
With ember months approaching the peak, so also is the tendency of last-minute rush by motorists. But the Federal Road Safety Corps says this is the time to employ all strategies to manage traffic on the roads.
Everybody wants to travel for social reasons, for business reasons, for religious issues. Now we have a lot of vehicles on the road and we have a lot of accidents. Because of that, we try to have a lot of activities during the ember month.
This workshop aims at showcasing ways of strengthening capacity of special marshals to fully understand the importance of their roles on the road. Beyond understanding their roles, stakeholders say motorists must obey traffic rules and desist from habits that constitute danger to safety on roads.
One cannot give what he does not have, and I believe workshops are platforms whereby you teach people and you also hear from them so that you share experience.
Road safety authorities say their personnel are set for enhanced patrol operations during the season and beyond. In Kaduna, Haruna Mohammed, NTA News.
Only able-bodied personnel of sound knowledge and character will henceforth be guaranteed recruitment into the Nigerian police force. Assistant Inspector General of Police Zone 1 Abubakar Sadiq Bello stated this in Kano while monitoring the computer-based test for general duty personnel shortlisted in 2020. Yohannes Hassambaro reports.
A new thinking of the Nigerian police force, according to the authorities, is to engage able-bodied young men and women with the right mindset and verified intellectual capacity, capable of facing challenges of modern-day policing in tune with global best practices. In Kano State, more than 5,000 candidates were shortlisted for the computer-based test.
Finished my exams, but I can't say it is not well. It is somehow well.
Monitoring the exercise, Assistant Inspector General of Police Zone 1, Abubakar Sadiq Bello said this is a step forward stone towards security improvement in the country.
You see, this is a try moment for Nigeria, so we want all Nigerians, particularly the youths, to come and contribute their quota towards having a peaceful and stable Nigeria. That is why I need to talk to them, let them know what they are coming into. Are they ready for it? And from all indications, it seems they are ready.
10,000 candidates are expected to be recruited nationwide. In Kano, Yohannes Hassambaro, NTA News.
And that's it from here. It's back to Ayodeji in Abuja.
Thanks, Amina, in our Kaduna Network Center. Now let's go back to our earlier reports and tell you that the Nigerian Media Merits Award Grand Annual Presentation Program hosted by the Kogi State government climaxed early Sunday morning with awards in more than 50 categories across the print and electronic media. The Nigerian Television Authority's Doshima Pius Ekerave won in the Television Production of the Year category. Two other NTA staff, Fatima Umabuba, was one of the nominees for the Television Newscaster of the Year, while Ololade Adeniji Adele was nominated for the Television Program Presenter of the Year. The 29th NMMA Award Night featured special awards to outstanding and deserving media icons as well as practitioners, with Babatunde Jose Prize for Newspaper of the Year won by Punch Newspaper, NBC Prize for Radio Station of the Year won by Ray Power FM, Voice of Nigeria Vaughn won Radio Production of the Year, and the NBC Prize for Television Station of the Year was won by Channels Television. Considered a crucial opportunity to achieve pivotal transformational change in global climate policy and action, the United Nations Conference of the Parties COP26 on climate change has opened in Glasgow, United Kingdom. Onengiye Fineface reports that parties to the Paris Agreement are to reach consensus on net zero at this conference.
It gives me great pleasure to declare open the 26th session of the Conference of the Parties to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change.
COP26 has opened with the understanding that the only way to have a livable future on Earth for humanity is for the world to act now to mitigate climate change, adapt to its impact, and build resilience towards a sustainable pathway.
And together, we can seize the enormous opportunities for green growth, for good green jobs, for cheaper, cleaner power. But we need to hit the ground running to develop the solutions that we need. And that work, my friends, starts today.
Let us rise to the enormous challenge of our time, this pivotal point in history, and achieve success for not just our present generation, but all generations to come.
From the CAP presidency to the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change and the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, the message is simple. Glasgow must deliver on the promises of the Paris Agreement.
Global warming of 1.5 degrees Celsius and 2 degrees Celsius will be exceeded during this century unless immediate, rapid, and large-scale reductions in greenhouse gas emissions, especially the carbon dioxide and methane, occur in the nearest future.
We have to make the choice to address climate change. We have to choose the hard but necessary actions. We have to listen to the science and increasingly our global population who are demanding action.
Top on the agenda of COP26 are climate finance, adaptation and global partnerships to achieve 1.5 degrees Celsius by 2050. President Buhari is leading Nigeria's delegation to the summit, which holds from 31st October to 12th November 2021 in Glasgow. Olmengiye Fine Face, NTA News.
The African Union has identified women as the dominant segment of the continent's population. The body is harnessing this potential by convening a Women Power Conference in Abuja. Olabode Arewa reports.
The task power of a woman is usually encapsulated in her ability to multitask in her daily schedules. This Women Power Conference is honoring 100 most outstanding African women in 2021. As the African Union Economic, Social and Cultural Council, AU-ECOSOC, also took special note of the rural woman in Africa and her role in keeping the economy of the continent moving.
If you look at the local government, leadership structure of Ghana, you find out that in a lot of the councils and the municipals, they have more women as local government heads, chiefs, and I think it's very significant for us here in Nigeria because we must begin to adopt the leadership from the bottom to the top approach.
It is time for African women to rise up, and the time is now.
It's not about the beauty or the fashion. It's about building a new generation of women that will stand up and speak.
Chizom Nwakwo is one of the participants at the event.
So we have talked about a group of women who have actually left the camp from the teaching that we have provided for them. And this is so important because it serves as an example for other women.
The African Union Economic, Social and Cultural Council regularly partners with civil society organizations to play active parts in the AU's policies and programs. Olabode, NTA News.
The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency has arrested 18 suspects of narcotics trafficking in the country. The operations conducted nationwide led to the rearrest of a nursing mother for trafficking 5 kilograms of skunk and 8.1 grams of molly. This is barely 2 weeks after she was granted bail for an attempt to smuggle drugs concealed in cassava meal balls to a suspect in NDLEA's custody. The operations also led to the arrest of fake security agents while conveying 105.4 kilograms of cannabis sativa from Ondo to Kaduna states. Meanwhile, 1,663.6 kilograms of narcotics, to include cocaine, methamphetamine, cannabis sativa, molly, heroin, retinol, among others, were seized in different states. Our Port Harcourt Network Center is next on Nationwide. Let's join Jenny for the latest from that side. Good evening, Jenny.
In Ayo and welcome.
The Chairman Councils of Legal Education, Emeka Ngige-san, and the Director General Nigerian Law School, Professor Issa Kiroma-san, have described the quality and pace of work at the ongoing construction of the Nabal Graham Douglas Port Harcourt campus of the Nigerian Law School and staff quarters executed by the Rivers State government as impressive. The legal luminaries made their session during an inspection tour of the site led by Governor Nyesom Wike. Ogedi Nyekwere reports.
61st NBA Annual General Conference, which held in Port Harcourt, created an opportunity for the two top personalities in matters concerning legal education in the country to see to the state of affairs in the ongoing construction of the Nabal Graham Douglas Port Harcourt campus of the Nigerian Law School at Rumeme and the staff quarters. Visibly happy with the progress of work at the two sites, the Chairman, Council of Legal Education, Emeka Ngige SAN, said the Council of Legal Education cannot thank Governor Wike enough for the attention he has given in fulfilling his promise to the Council and his efforts towards the development of the legal profession.
We are happy that he's keeping to that promise and that work is going on in earnest. And we shall report to our council.
We thank His Excellency for this wonderful job, as well as the speed with which he's taken this job.
For Governor Wike, the motivating force is to attract institutions that will enhance the socio-economic growth of the state, as well as contribute to the growth of legal education and the training of lawyers in the country.
For whatever it is our own contribution to the growth of legal education. And as a lawyer, it will not be fair that as a governor, what is my contribution to the growth of legal education? So as part of our own contribution is to see that the best of the quality is given to them.
The governor maintained that the projects are on course and would be handed over in record time. In Port Harcourt, Ogedi Nyekwere, NTA News.
Preservation of the environment through tree planting and proper waste management is a panacea to achieving green atmosphere for healthy living. This was the focus of the Association of Environmental Lawyers of Nigeria at a seminar held in Port Harcourt. Robinson Darataide reports.
The degradation of the Nigerian environment resulting to the death of biodiversity in the south and desertification in the north have become a source of worry for professional bodies to address. Lawyers and other environmental professionals led by Dr. Samuel Dike gathered at the Rivers State University with a call for respect for national and international charters on environmental preservations and urged the people to make the planting of trees a priority.
The essence of inaugurating these clubs, which have the younger ones and students, is to catch them young so that they understand what these problems are and then grow with the idea of joining and finding solutions.
And as a university, we are doing our very best. You can see how the environment is neat, very friendly, and we are planting trees as well to ensure that we promote environmental consciousness.
But the trees are very important in absorbing the carbon that human beings release.
Proper disposal of waste, recycling for economic purpose, and deliberate government policy to stop the dumping of plastic into the ocean was stressed by the speakers. The national, state, and student chapters of the Association of Environmental Lawyers of Nigeria was inaugurated with the mandate to sensitize Nigerians. In Port Harcourt, Robinson Darataide, NTA News.
That's it from Port Harcourt. Nationwide will continue with Chinenye in ENUGU after the break.
NDLEA emphasized
ENUGU. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency has taken its war against drug abuse to heads of federal establishments in Enugu State. Commander NDLEA Enugu State, Mr. Basi Aneti, said that the move was one of the measures the agency had deployed with a view to winning the war against drug abuse. Uchenna Namele reports.
Commander who was represented by the Deputy State Commander, NDLEA, emphasized that the advocacy was a deliberate move to get civil servants involved. Mr. Anyeti described the message against drug abuse as vital, adding that no society with illicit drug abuse prevalence would survive. He explained that the current spate of insecurity and insurgency in the country were a fallout of illicit drug abuse.
We should go around advocacy, soliciting for support from other sister organizations, carrying the message against drug abuse to the grassroots. And we deemed it fit that a meeting like this, where we have other heads of federal establishment, it's one of those areas that we should take this message to.
A lot of things they need to know, so we have to be watchful, we have to engage them, we have to enlighten them. Even in the grassroots and the villages, a lot of things are going fast. There are a lot of vices going on with this. In a lecture, the Assistant Commander, Narcotics, Mr. Eyuche Ome, said the crusade against drug abuse was fashioned out in collaboration with other state actors in ENUGU. Uchenna Nnamili, NTA News.
The Anambra State Police Command is assuring the people of the state of a comprehensive and round-the-clock security arrangement aimed at enhancing public safety before, during and after the November 6th Anambra governorship election. Udo Okoronkwochukwu reports that the Commissioner of Police, Echeng, stated this during a press briefing on the readiness of the command for the election.
CP Echeng says the security architecture on ground is strategic and purposeful in providing an enabling environment for the success of the election. As part of the preparation, the command has embarked on intelligence gathering, synergy with sister agencies and vigilante groups.
The command has been bold in confronting security challenges and indeed recorded several successes in curbing some of these crimes, and every day we evolve a new approach to tackle these threats as they emerge.
CP Echeng reiterates that the IGP, who is passionate about the election, has deployed assets and posts to the state. Alongside the command desire to fight all forms of violent crimes, the CP urges people to assist the police.
We have support of the helicopters for aerial surveillance. We have gunboats to patrol the waterways. We have enough vehicles to operate during these elections.
He appeals to the media to ensure credible reportage by feeding the public with right information. Inoka, Udo Okoronkwochukwu, NTA News.
And those are the stories from Enugu. Nationwide continues with Ayodeji in Abuja after this break. Do stay. After this break.
We'll be taking a break at the moment. Let's also continue on nationwide from our Enugu Network Center and tell you that the Nigeria Center for Disease Control reports another 89 new cases of COVID-19 in the country as at 30th of October 2021. A breakdown shows that Bauchi recorded 22 new cases, Edo and FCT have 17 new cases, Lagos 15, Plateau 10, Kaduna 4, Taraba 2, Bayelsa and Delta have 1 new case. So far, the total number of confirmed cases in the country now stand at 211,887, while the number of successfully managed and discharged cases are 203,080 cases, with 2,895 persons dead, unfortunately. Good health and sustainable development are possible if governments and the citizens give priority to maintaining clean and green environments. This was the view of some Nigerians in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, as they appraised the monthly environmental sanitation by the state's government. Clement Barikwi reports.
A dirty or uninviting environment does not just cause infections or repulsion, it also pulls apart one's emotional control and mental stability. The benefit of a clean environment is aptly captured in the popular saying that cleanliness is next to godliness. And this is what the Akwa Ibom State government has tried to achieve through the monthly environmental sanitation exercise. With focus on desilting of drains, the October edition is aimed at reducing flood that has gradually taken over some parts of Uyo in recent time.
If we fail to do it, the water will surely affect our houses. So we love ourselves.
Every Saturday like this, we used to do it. We clean the environment, make the environment tidy, so you live good, you live well.
Because it's good to clean, to make our environment clean. It's very, very necessary.
We normally observe not only monthly, sometimes interval of two weeks we do our internal sanitations.
Uyo is very clean. Why I would say it's clean because of this monthly sanitation that is being maintained in the state.
The respondents say waiting for last Saturday of every month before carrying out sanitation may not be enough, but it is the right step in maintaining the cleanliness that Uyo is known for. Clement Barakui, NTA News.
Realizing the importance of food safety and nutrition to the populace largely depends on collective efforts of every individual in the food chain process. This is the view of stakeholders as they focus attention on meals consumed by people as panacea for a healthy future. Evelyn Badu-Ekpo tells us more on measures towards enhancing consumption of safe food.
Considering the importance of food to the population, stakeholders say attention should be given to proper processing of food from production to consumption.
Agrochemical have been given to farmers in the state. Cassava stem have been given to farmers. Crops have been given free in the state. So now in Akwa Ibom, we have food enough in Akwa Ibom state.
With time, if these farmers are encouraged to plant tomato, there won't be wastage.
With growing investment in agriculture in Nigeria, states including Akwa Ibom have keyed into the task of increased food production and safety mechanisms.
Akwa Ibom State greenhouse tomato, you can keep it for 2 weeks, if more than 2 weeks, because it's very, very durable.
Like in abattoir, we do not accept flaying animals with tires and all that that contains chemicals, which is very harmful to the health.
The greenhouse projects, no insects, no pests will attack those crop planted because they have been screened out.
Agriculturists maintain that food safety remains everyone's business. Hence, the global community focusing on this year's theme on safe food for a healthy tomorrow. In Uyo, Evelyn Badu-Ekpo, NTA News.
And next, the nationwide sports updates with Amanzi Marcus.
The 2021 Prudent Energy Handball Premier League continues on Monday at the Moshood Abiola National Stadium, Abuja. On Sunday, KADA Queens lost 22-26 goals to PLATEAU PEACOCKS, while defender Babes lost by 1 goal, 31-32 goals to Edo DYNAMOS. Meanwhile, organizers of the competition have been rewarding the best players in both the men and women's categories, with the MVP award usually given at the end of each playing day. In football, Real Madrid's 2-1 victory at Elche weekend gave the team a better goals difference of 14 to top La Liga, with all the top 3 teams having the same 24 points each. Real Betis are fourth with 21 points from 11 matches, with Vallecano fifth on the log with a goals difference of 6 and 19 points. In the German Bundesliga table, Bayern Munich retained top spot with 25 points from 10 matches. Freiburg are third, Leverkusen fourth, while fifth place Mainz 05 have a goals difference of 4 with 16 points from 10 matches. In tennis, Novak Djokovic will play both the singles and doubles at next week's Paris Masters, his first competitive tennis after his defeat in the US Open final to the Russian Daniil Medvedev. The 34-year-old will be the top seed at the Masters 1000 event, where he is a 5-time champion. On the Serbian's decision to play the doubles, Guy Forget, the tournament director, explains. He said he will